Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. What you are looking at up on the screen right now is your 12 MSI representatives. I did decide to keep Gigabyte Marines in there. We will be ranking them today, throwing them into our list. But yeah, that is the point of today's video. Taking these 12 teams, power ranking them from top to bottom, who I think are the strongest teams coming into the tournament, giving a little bit of my thoughts and opinions on each team, each region. Obviously, there's only so much that one person by himself could have watched, could have seen, could know about these teams and leagues. Obviously, I've done some research. I've been checking into the historical performances, how the regular seasons and playoffs went for all these teams in those past few videos that I made. So I have a little bit of background knowledge, but I'm not going to be completely educated on all these teams or all these players. But I'm going to do my best of putting together a 1 to 12 power ranking of how I kind of expect the relative strength of these teams to be coming into the tournament. This is not a predictions video. That's going to be coming later in the week. This is not predicting who I think is going to make it out of groups or make it, anywhere like that. And that a lot of that depends on matchups and groups and draws and all that. This is just straight up, if these 12 teams were all lined up, what I'm thinking about each one of them. But yeah. Before we get into that, I just want to mention real quick, if you guys have not already, please take a second and smash that like button. I would appreciate it so much. These videos do take a little bit longer. They take some more work. They take some more effort, some research. Even just getting all these logos up on the screen takes me, longer than some of my typical videos. So I would appreciate the support. If you guys do enjoy something like this, also subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content so you guys don't miss out on anything we've got going on in the future. With that being said, let's get right into this. This video is hard to make because I have people from all over that watch my videos. I'm not trying to offend anybody, offend anybody's region, offend anybody's teams, whatever, but historically we have kind of been able to see how the different regions do when they perform against each other, and pretty much for the most part over the course of many international tournaments at this point, we know who the stronger regions are, we know who the middle of the pack, and we know who kind of the bottom tier are. And yeah, you hope your team can overperform a little bit, but definitely no hate or flame or anything in anything that I'm saying about any of these teams or regions. But I know people are going to be mad no matter what. Somebody's got to be last. Somebody's got to be first. Somebody's got to be everywhere in between. But yeah, so we'll get into this again. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on your list and everything. But let's go. We're going to be starting out in the bottom right with who I think's last. We're going to work our way up to the top left. At number 12, we're going to be starting out with the Oceanic representative. I'm going to be placing Pentanet GG here in my number 12 spot in the bottom right. This team is obviously the Osh representative. I know Osh has been going through a lot of issues. I know like the league broke up and then they formed a new league, and NA took away a lot of their players, and there's just all these moving parts and stuff going on. But overall, it does seem like the Oceanic League has been brought down a little bit. The last couple tournaments, like Worlds 2020, Worlds 2019, they overall were one of the weaker regions at the tournament. They didn't have the best results. I don't expect anything too much different from Osh coming into this. Could I see them maybe taking some games here and there? It's possible. Could I see them maybe outperforming CB LOL Japan, something like that, the other kind of tier 4 teams that they're in with? We'll see. And that's the other thing, that Riot does have all of these, when they went to pick the groups, they did split up all these teams and all these regions into the 4 tiers. And I honestly think they did a pretty good job with the 4 tiers. So, for the most part, the groups are balanced. Teams are going to be facing up against light competition, everything, everywhere. The Osh was in that bottom tier. And honestly, of those 3 teams, I think they're towards the bottom. I do have them as my number 12 team. Again, no flame to Osh. But yeah, that's that. I think just especially with some of their top players, top talent going to North America, that's got to be tough for a minor region to continue to compete. But we'll see how Pentanet does. Next up, we have the CB LOL representative. I'm putting Pain Gaming at number 11. This is a team who, when I took a look at them from the regular season, one thing that stood out to me was they had a 5th place finish in the regular season. Yes, they did go on to obviously win the championship, but it's not like they were dominant in CB LOL. It's not like, they were just smacking everybody around, like clearly the best team in CB LOL. If you're finishing 5th in the CB LOL, do I think you're going to come into MSI and be able to take games off some of these top teams? Potentially, but do I think you're going to, have a standout performance necessarily? Not really. I know I had somebody comment on one of my videos the other day that Pain Gaming ended the regular season really strong. They went into playoffs really strong, that maybe they figured some things out and turned the corner after a slow start. And that could be possible. That could happen. I get it. They have BRTT. They have some talented players with some experience. But, CB LOL doesn't have the best international performances. And I don't know if Pain Gaming is like the best CB LOL team to ever be going to an international event or anything like that. So I do have Pain Gaming at number 11. Next up at number 10, I have right where they are. Detonation Focus Me. This is the Japanese representative here. It will not let me drag them, so I guess they're going to be staying here. We have the Japanese representative. Again, Japan. I think they're one of like the newer formed regions in the League of Legends world and League of Legends community for competitive. I know that they've had some struggles kind of getting their leagues off the ground, getting their servers off the ground, all that stuff. Internationally, they've had mixed results, still not that great. They are in this tier 4 for a reason with Pain and with Pentanet. I think they're the strongest of these tier 4 teams. You know, if I had to pick somebody to maybe pull off a big upset or maybe even get out of group, something crazy like that, I think Detonation Focus Me has an opportunity. I think the Japan server is going to continue to grow. I'm sure that region will continue to develop and be very, very talented at some point in the future. I still think they're pretty far away from that currently, but Detonation Focus Me is coming into this tournament as an interesting team, and I just rate them a little bit higher than Pain and Pentanet coming in. Next up at number 9, I do have Infinity Esports, so they're in the correct position as well. This is kind of working out nice. This is going to be the Latin American representative, and this is another interesting team. Latin America has some talented players for sure. You know, a lot of these guys play on the NA server. A lot of them are very, very familiar with the LCS and everything. And some of those players even come over. You know, we've had Latin American players come over and be very, very successful. Obviously, with a guy like Jose Dioto playing in the LCS right now. But again, now we're into the tier 3 teams. This team's a little bit higher. Latin America's had a little bit better international performances and finishes than some of these tier 4 teams. But I do still think Latin America is just a little bit weaker than some of these other tier 3 regions. I'm not coming in with super high expectations for Infinity, but I know Latin America is talented. They are definitely a developing region that, you know, you shouldn't take them lightly, but I'm not necessarily like super scared of them coming into the tournament like maybe I am with some of these other tier 3 teams that I think actually potentially had a chance to get out of groups, you know, if some things would have went a little bit differently. Next up, we have the Istanbul Wildcats. I don't even know where we're at, 12, 11, 10, 9. At number 8, the Istanbul Wildcats. This is the Turkish representative. Obviously, we've seen a lot of great teams, a lot of great players and everything come out of Turkey when we look at just thinking about guys like Broken Blade, Closer. I believe Abadage played in Turkey for a little while. You know, we've had all different kinds of Turkish talent. They are a very, very good region, but they have the issue, like a lot of other regions, of getting their best players stolen by, you know, NA and Europe and all these other regions. Overall, Turkey has had some interesting international results. They field some decent teams here and there. Most recently, I don't think they had the best performances, but they usually get out of groups and play-ins, make it to the knockout stage. They usually perform a little bit better than some of these other teams internationally, and they can usually hold their own. And I see no reason why Istanbul will not be able to do that as well. Again, I have them at number 8, so I don't have super high expectations for them coming in. But Turkey is definitely a respected region, definitely a region, you know, not to take lightly. And I think they have a decent chance of, you know, maybe getting something done in this tournament. Next up, we have the Unicorns of Love. This is the CIS representative. This is the league that's played in Russia. Unicorns of Love, they are historically a fun, exciting team to watch and play, dating all the way back to their years in the EULCS. Now they're over in you know, the CIS league. And they're a scary team. They're a fun team. The Russian league usually has some decent results internationally. Unicorns of Love is a team that can pull off some upsets. They can do some crazy stuff. And I would absolutely not be surprised if, once again, they do perform as the best of these tier 3 teams. I could see them, you know, potentially pulling off some upsets, potentially at least having some fun and exciting games to watch, and potentially at least leaving this tournament, you know, gaining some respect and wanting to make a name for themselves. And I think that could be really, really cool. I would not be surprised at all if Unicorns of Love does come out and have just a really, really nice performance at this tournament. Now, getting into the tier 2 teams, I believe these are all tier 2 teams. We have GAM Esports, formerly known as Gigabyte Marines. Yes, they are not going to be at this tournament, but I still wanted to give them the love, still wanted to give them the shout out. This is obviously the VCS, the Vietnamese representative, Gigabyte Marines. They are historically a very, very well-known team. Levi is a guy that gives LCS fans, players, organizations nightmares. Huge, interesting, fun team. Usually has big playmakers. They always are going to be pulling off big, crazy upsets. They definitely would have been picked to get out of their group had they been going to the tournament. Yes, unfortunately, they will not be there, but still wanted to give them this shout out because I know people are going to be asking, like, oh, well, where would you have GAM? What do you think about them? Where could you see them being? And I would see them right around here. I think they're very, very close with the next team on this list, but, you know, it could have really gone either way. And especially since this other team's actually going to be playing in the tournament, I'm kind of leaning towards them a little bit more. But next up is PSG Talon, and I guess I'm ranking them with Unified still playing. I know there's been some crazy stories. Unified not going to be able to travel. They're going to have a sub 80 carry. Doggo's going to be playing. Maple maybe like had some health issues as well. PSG Talon's coach maybe can't travel. All this crazy stuff's going on. He's going to be coaching remotely. I don't know exactly what's going on. It does kind of put kind of a damper in everything, but this is the Vietnamese, Hong Kong, Southeast Asia representative. This is formerly the LMS. Very, very good region internationally. Kind of a step down from the major regions. Obviously, they have not had as good of results, especially recently. The LMS has been kind of doing a little bit worse and worse, but still a region to be feared. Still very, very talented teams. Still very, very talented players. They know how to play the game at a high level. They're consistently better than all the teams I have rated below them. They're consistently put up the best international results of all the minor regions or emerging regions or whatever you want to call them. So it'll be interesting to see how PSG Talon can deal with, having a sub 80 carry at the last minute, how Maple's going to deal with whatever's going on with him, how they're going to deal with having their coach remote. But I do expect them to show up. I do still expect them to have some pretty solid results. Next up at number 4, we're going to be going... Did it put these all together? I hope not. Next up at number 4, we're going to be going with Cloud9. Now, there's going to be a lot of debate between who is a better team coming into this tournament between Mad Lions and Cloud9. And I honestly don't know what I think. Obviously, I have some NA bias. Obviously, North American fans get hyped up and excited before every international tournament just to be let down. But every once in a while, we have some decent performances. We had Team Liquid get into the finals at MSI. We've had Cloud9 making it to the semifinals. Every once in a while, stuff aligns correctly. And I think what is going on this year and why people are having some even more hope for North America is that, one, we have Perks on our side this time. Cloud9 has a big-time international stud, a big-time player. They have the North American MVP and Blabber, just an absolute monster. Sven and Vulcan are an absolute world-class bot lane. Maybe they're not the best bot lane in the world, but they can stand toe-to-toe with people at international competitions. The one big question mark for them is Fudge up in the top lane, but Cloud9 over the course of the season has developed a playstyle to really be able to play around him pretty well. And then also, when you're comparing NA to EU, Mad Lions are not this dominant team coming out this year. Mad Lions, is good, however good you think they are or whatever, they're not G2. They did not stomp through the regular season. I believe they went 10-8 and were like 2 games ahead of SK in the final regular season standings. The regular season was not good. Yes, they got hot in the playoffs, but that was just one patch, and will they be able to play on the new MSI patch? How are things going to go? How are they going to look? Were they good, or did G2 just have a bad split? Did Rogue choke in the finals? There's going to be a lot of those questions, but just with how the LEC has done historically the last couple of tournaments, even teams other than G2 like Fnatic almost beating top esports, and NA hasn't gotten a team out of groups at Worlds in a couple of years, I don't believe. I think you have to rate the NA team at number 4 coming into the tournament. But then at number 3, we do have the Mad Lions themselves coming in. This is a team that obviously people have known about for a while. They've been the young up-and-comers. They have some bright players with bright futures ahead of them. Humanoid, Kaiser, Carzzy, these guys kind of got put on the map the last couple of years with that big upset of G2 last year, making a name for themselves. And they went to Worlds and kind of lost a lot of credit and lost a lot of respect and everything. But now they're back. They beat G2. They beat Rogue. They made it. They won their championship. And now they're here at MSI to prove that the LEC isn't just G2. It's a very, very strong region. If you are the LEC representative, you're now taking G2 spot, and you need to defend that. Europe is the defending MSI champions. They're coming in with that target on their back, and Mad Lions needs to prove that they belong to a lot of people because the LEC wants to say that they're a top 3 region, but is it G2 that's a top 3 team in the European region, or is the LEC really a top 3 region that can go toe-to-toe with Damon Game and Kia and can go toe-to-toe with RNG, or is it G2 and then everybody else, and Korea and China are going to be playing a game of their own? We're going to find out. Next up at number 2, I've got RNG. So there's going to be a lot of debate between who's the favorite coming into the tournament. I think, from what I've seen from the pick'ems, what I've seen on Reddit and everything, I think more people are going with Damon Game and Kia right now. But there is kind of more and more people picking up on RNG and picking up on just how strong the LPL has been. If you look at the last couple international events, even 2020, where Damon Game and Kia won the championship, it could be argued that overall the LPL was a stronger region than the LCK. You know, they had 2 teams in the semifinals. Other than Damon Gaming Kia, no Korean team had a crazy performance. No Korean team like was all that memorable. And yes, Damon Gaming was an absolute monstrosity of a team. They were killer. They dominated the tournament, and it's obviously that same team back at MSI. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if the LPL is better than the LCK. It just matters is RNG better than Damon Gaming Kia, and it's going to be close. Both of these teams finished first in the regular season. Obviously, both of them won the championship. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. But yeah, I don't know. Just because I'm rating RNG at 2 and Damwon at 1, that doesn't mean I'm picking Damwon Gaming to win the tournament. Again, I think over the course of all of this, it'll be interesting to see how the different playstyles match up. Obviously, games in the LPL are way different than the LCK. And honestly, recently, I'm leaning more towards the LPL overall being the stronger region in the LCK. And this is not the same Damwon Gaming from last year. This is with Khan in the top lane. This is going to be a new iteration. They're going to have to see how they can play together on the international stage. And yeah, see if they can recreate that craziness from last year. So I have RNG as second just because this is Damwon Gaming. They are the defending world champions. They are, you know, they did have a good regular season. They had a good playoffs. They're here. They're ready to go, and they're scary. And I don't think you can say coming into the tournament that RNG, it would be hard to rate RNG above them coming into the tournament. But if you pick RNG, if you do think RNG is better, I think there is a very, very real case there to be made. I wouldn't, you know, you wouldn't get too much pullback from me or anything like that. But these are my rankings heading into MSI, my power rankings 1 through 12, top to bottom, my thoughts and opinions on each team, each league, how things have gone in the past, what I think is going to happen this time. Again, not my official predictions or anything. Those will be coming out. That's going to be its own separate video. But this is how I would rank the teams 1 through 12. That is pretty much it for this video today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it if you did drop a like on this video. That would be absolutely awesome. Really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. Leave a comment down below. What do you think I got right? What do you think I got wrong? What do your power rankings look like? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace!